Hello and welcome back to Ramblings of a Mad Guy. It's me, Reese, I'm the Mad Guy, coming at you with another ep. I think it's funny, I think it's weird when you are somehow more conservative, you might say, than your own grandparents. I feel like I am the conservative party in my grandparents' household. They're like 80-something years old. I don't even know. Are you supposed to know how old your grandparents are? I have no idea. I know they're in their 80s. But I don't actually even know that for sure. If someone told me they were 79, I'd believe it. 77, I'd say on a good day. But yeah, my grandfather was trying to convert me to Joe Bidenism. It's one thing for your grandfather to try to convert you to like a religion, because you get it. He's like, it's an old guy, that's his whole life is like that religion or whatever. But he was trying to convert me to Joe Bidenism. What the fuck? I guess game recognized game. Shuffleboard recognized shuffleboard, if you know what I'm saying. But no, he's just terrified. He's mortified. He's got that, what they call it, Trump derangement syndrome. He's got that disease where you believe that Donald Trump is somehow like Chairman Mao, you know, or like Stalin. Look, I don't think he's a good president. I'm not voting for Trump. I was very clear about that. I said that outright. I said, I am not voting for your enemy, grandfather of mine. I am not voting for your enemy, your mortal enemy, Donald Trump. But I'm also not voting for Biden. I would rather literally not vote. That is my democratic right, is to vote or not vote. Everyone's like, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, then you're voting for Donald Trump. That is one of the stupidest arguments I've ever heard. Dumbest arguments. Literal pea-brained fools think that the way that democracy, or I should say republic, works is that you, by not voting for the person that like one individual wants you to vote for, in this case, my grandfather and Joe Biden, that by somehow not voting for that person, I am voting for the other person. That's like, why wouldn't the other party just say the exact same thing? You're not voting for Donald Trump? Well, then you're voting for Joe Biden. Like, what? That cannot be consistent logically. If it works both ways like that. So, anyway, pea-brained idea based on Trump derangement syndrome. Makes people believe in terrible things. Same with Biden derangement syndrome. I want to be clear. I'm not expressing that right now. I'm saying if RFK makes it onto the ballot, I'll vote for him. Otherwise, I'm not voting. I don't partake. You know, it's like a vote is a thing that you give as a seal of approval to whoever you support and think supports your interests. Why would I give seals of approval to people whom I know don't support my interests, both Donald Trump and Joe Biden? I'm like 99% sure that neither one serves my interests. And so I'm just going to give one a seal of approval because one guy thinks that I should? One guy, that's what he's going to do? So I explained this all to him very politely, not as animated as this. And that's partially because I know he won't be watching this. But also because this isn't really who I am, this person that you're looking at on the YouTube screen. This is like an inflamed version of me. You know, it's like someone that's more animated, more pissed off. Like, it's called Ramblings of a Mad Guy. It's not called Reese Folk, like his actual thoughts and views and feeling. It's called crazy talking of someone who's upset. So that's what's happening right now. But just to get meta with you guys for a second. But yeah, so this one dude, my grandfather, thinks it's so important to vote for Joe Biden that he sends me a book called On Tyranny. And, you know, usually when your grandfather sends you a book, it's like some giant history book that you'll never read. It's like something you can never understand or like realize, like possibly cognize why it would be interesting to anybody. Like it's usually a giant book on Ulysses S. Grant. Or like fucking Andrew Jackson. They love that. They love a good Andrew Jackson. Abraham Lincoln. But this one was not on any of those prominent figures. This was a children's cartoon. So I guess he's bumped my like intellectual level down a notch. He used to send me fucking giant like history novels. Now he sends me children's cartoon books. Or maybe he's bumped his reading level down a notch. I don't know. I guess that would happen in old age. But so he sends me a cartoon book called On Tyranny. It's on tyranny. It's a book on tyranny. And it's supposed to be about why you shouldn't vote for Donald Trump. No, I get old people if you're very set in your way. I get that. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Republican. I believe in this and this and this, and I can't shake that belief. The weird thing to me is when you're already an old guy, and then this new concept emerges when you're like 72 years old, which is like Trump is the Antichrist who tried to overthrow our government and is like the agent of chaos on Earth. This what I shorten to Trump derangement syndrome. What I don't understand is how you adopt an ideology like that, which is so like intense when you are 72 years old. Like, why? Like, why are you doing that? Like, I get a bunch of kids, idealistic college kids that don't know their ass from the hole in the ground are like, Trump is the devil! Or even the other way around, like, Joe Biden is ruining our country. I get when you adopt those things when you're a dumb kid. But how do you live on the earth for 72 years and then try to preach to who are people who are supposed to be dumb kids, 24-year-old? How do you preach to them your ideology of like basically orange man equals bad? I'm supposed to be the idiot with that simple of a view. Okay, anyway. I'm not getting too worked up about this. I'm the mad guy, but I'm not going to get that mad. It's just funny. It's just funny, man. Old people. Don't get set in your way about old people shit. Don't do it about new things. It just looks foolish. It looks completely foolish. I don't know. How you guys doing? Chilling? These tunnels are crazy. This guy, Dom Luker, I think I did a video where I mentioned him before. He is going nuts on Twitter. It's hilarious. He's like investigating the tunnels, the Jewish tunnels under Manhattan. I wonder what old Grandpa Bill would have to say about the Jewish tunnels. Did Donald Trump tell you to cover those? No. I'm not really even covering them. I don't know what they mean. I have literally no idea what those are for. I think maybe the thing that they're saying, that the people that dug the tunnels are saying, it was like, it's some sort of like apocalypse plan, like COVID hit, and they're like, let's have a little underground situation, which I'm totally understanding of. I mean, dude, lock it down. Get your apocalyptic plan in order. I get that. But the people like Dom Luker on Twitter, who I don't even know if I like or not. I unfollowed him, but he still shows up in my feed all the time. I think because I still engage with his posts so much. But he's like just a conspiracy theorist guy, which is cool. Little unhinged sometimes, it seems, but I don't know. Maybe the world is that unhinged. So he went into New York and got into these tunnels and made a little documentary, which I don't think it's out yet, or maybe it just came out. But I'm gonna check that out because I am curious what he found. He's saying crazy shit, that it's like some sort of, there's human trafficking, and I don't know. I'm not even going to put words in his mouth. I have to watch this documentary first. But the little bits and pieces I'm getting on Twitter are sort of like, there's satanic shit happening in these Jewish tunnels. I can't, dude. I cannot keep up anymore. I'm actually losing my taste for that lifestyle of like hardcore conspiracy. It's a phase that I think you go through in life, and some people never leave. But I feel as if I'm stepping one foot out, because I'm not even saying I don't believe these things. Like, I believe there's high levels of conspiracy that have just been proven via Epstein, via CIA releases about JFK, all sorts of things. Like, tons of things that are conspiracy theories have just been proven. Bush did 9/11, obviously. Nah. So, like, I don't know if that one's true per se, but I do know that, like, the government leveraged 9/11 as an emotional event in order to invade the Middle East and acquire a lot of capital and influence. Like, I know that. So that's pretty shady. But at a certain point, you just have to take your attention away from it, I think. You just have to, like, step away from it. Like, know it's there and know it exists, but you can't let it, like... It can't be an overarching, like, structure in your life where you feel like you operate within the confines of conspiracy. Because then you will. Then these people that you say are oppressing everybody, they are oppressing you for sure. If they live in your head and tell you what to think and make you feel confined and small and not free. But I'm finding that if you sort of just take your attention away from it, and just hold it in your subconscious, like take your attention somewhere else into the present moment, maybe just a walk that you're having or the person you're talking to or anything, then you don't feel oppressed by these evil, like, overlords. You just feel as if they exist. Anyway, so that's a little tip for Dom Luker. I don't know if that can help him in any way. He does seem to get, I don't know if it's all persona. It could be all persona. I don't know the guy personally at all. But if he is overwhelmed in any way by it, remember to ground yourself in the present. Anyway, that's been a weird episode and a good one, but thank you. Peace. Good luck out there. Everybody's saying the world is, like, a very dark and traumatic and, like, fucked up place to be right now, and that's obviously true, but only 50% true. I do believe there's this, like, balancing force, the yin and the yang, light and dark. Things sort of have a way of dancing between the shadow and the illumined. So don't get too stressed out. Don't get too bummed out. A lot of time the light and the good stuff is just what's, like, right in front of you, just, like, right with you right now. Like, for instance, I'm talking into a metal contraption held up by an arm into a screen that has my face on it, into a little circle that is capturing my every inflection and emotion. And there's also a little cool light that just is powered by this whole one computer, which is just a miracle and a marvel that we have. So just to remember those little things, that's, it's important. Thank you. Peace, everybody. Have a nice day.